Cement is the company that we are talking about, and sorry, JK Lakshmi is the company we are talking about, and Shailendra Choksey, the whole-time director of JK Lakshmi Cement, is joining us. Mr. Choksey, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. This is a 2% fall in income, which people can take in their stride, but the operating profit is a steep fall. Can you take us through, what has led to this? Is it a demand compression? And why would margins take such a big beating?
Well, I don't think the results are very much, they are disappointing, no doubt, but they are not totally unexpected. We have been seeing quarter over quarter during last 5 quarters, the prices in the north and west where we operate mainly, they have seen a very steady decline. And so much so that if I compare the prices which ruled last year in this quarter, the prices are down by 30 to 35 rupees a bag. So we have lost nearly over 500 rupees a ton in terms of our net sales. So while we draw some comfort that despite the passage of really last 2-3 years, we have been able to control or maintain our costs at about the same level as were there in the last year. In fact, at our Sirohi plant, the basic mother plant in Rajasthan, we have been able to reduce the cost of production lower than last year. But the price fall has been a huge drag, and you're very right, this is mainly on account of a steep fall in the demand.
Okay. Mr. Choksey, morning. So you said that the prices have fallen by 30 to 35 rupees a bag. What impact has that had, overall in terms of volumes? Can you just break up the cement and the clinker sales for us this quarter?
Well, the clinker sales has not been much in this quarter. It has been roughly about 1.2 lakh tons for the whole quarter. Another factor which actually dragged us down was that we commissioned our Durg plant, a new greenfield project in Chhattisgarh. Only the last quarter was the first quarter of the full 3 months of working. This being the first quarter, we could only ramp up to about 50% of our capacity utilization, while we had the whole burden of your interest, depreciation, etc. And that is what brought down the overall profitability.
If you put your ear to the ground, how are things looking like now, Mr. Choksey, for the remaining part of FY16? Are you seeing projects pick up? Are you seeing people telling you that they will either start construction when the rains stop? Getting a sense that things are turning around?
Unfortunately, I don't have a very rosy picture to paint right now. What one can say is that we have had practically 2 years of a flat growth or negative growth in some of the markets where we operate in. Now we see some green shoots emerging on the infrastructure development like dedicated freight corridor, etc. coming up. But I wish in this session had the GST and the your land bill got cleared, then I think it would have changed the mood considerably. Right now the real estate is in dumps. The infrastructure is yet to pick up, though we are very confident and hopeful that from the 3rd quarter and at the max the 4th quarter, things would pick up considerably, because the new government has definitely taken a lot of steps to put the basic structure in place. What it needs is a bit of a policy and some statute support, and I think that should be forthcoming. We need to have a bit of patience, maybe 1 or 2 quarters, and things should look up, and I think then we can catch up. We are in right now we are in that phase when we have just commissioning of our various capacities, and the market has not been good. But once all our capacities get stabilized, we are already 8.3 million ton this year after commissioning of our Durg plant. This year we'll add 1 million ton in Gujarat, and next year are 2 of our more projects coming up. So I think the Indian construction, the Indian infra, that story remains good in mid-term to long-term. And once that is done, with our increased capacity, I think we'll be in a very good position to reap the benefit.
Mr. Choksey, your finance costs have gone up from 21 crore to 45 crore year on year. I would assume this is because new plants have commenced operation. Will these will this be the run rate, 45 crore, that we should expect in terms of interest costs? And will, say, a 0.5 percentage point cut in interest rates by the banks make a difference?
Yeah, certainly it will make a effect, because most of our capitals have been tied up based on floating rates. So if the rates come down, our interest cost would come down. But I think more importantly is that once the interest rate comes down, there will be a lot of revival of the infrastructure, especially the real estate, which is right now in a severe issue. Most of the metro towns have this issue of lot of inventories available with them. So I think the bit of an interest cut would definitely help the entire sector a lot, and it will help us in terms of reduction of our financial costs.
Okay. I got your clinker sales number, which was 1.2 lakh tons, but I did not get how much of cement sales you've done this time around, and also what is the exact EBITDA per ton? Last quarter I think it was 460 rupees per ton. How much has it fallen to this quarter?
It has come down to, you see, our total volume is about 16.5 lakh tons.
Okay.
So that will bring down to our EBITDA per ton to sub 300 rupees a ton.
And do you reckon that this could continue, this sub 300 rupees per ton could continue through the next couple of quarters?
No, I won't expect that poor numbers in the coming quarter. For one, our capacity at Durg is gradually getting ramped up, and I'm very hopeful that by the last quarter we'll reach something like 80% capacity utilization, which will be at par with the capacity utilization which is there in that region. In fact, it will be slightly better. So I think our costs will come down further, and we should be able to increase our EBITDA margin. Besides, I don't expect this sort of price to continue for long. I'm very hopeful that post-monsoon, when some revival of the rural economy should take place, we are experiencing good rains in almost all our markets, and I'm quite hopeful that things would improve. We are seeing some improvement even now, but I think it's too early in the day to comment on that.
All right.
Definitely by third quarter, I'm quite optimistic.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining us. So weak set of numbers coming in from JK Lakshmi Cement, but they're optimistic that things could recover third quarter onwards. We'll take a break.